The artist I'm going to be discussing today is David Hockney. We discussed him in an earlier chapter with his painting A Bigger Splash, which depicted water in a different way than normal, and most widely accepted as one of his most popular pieces. I fell in love with this artist as soon as we took a look at him, and I wanted to highlight some of his other works. One of his most iconic pieces is Bigger Trees Near Water, which is easily his largest work to date. It's 50 oil canvases, which were painted in a style called en plein air, which just means like in an open air concept, to really bring about a spontaneity to his artwork. It was based off of a mosaic that he made digitally of photographs, and while the technique he used caused it to take a little bit longer, the paintings took around 6 weeks to complete, which I think is honestly an impressive amount of time, because there's no way I'd be able to do that in 6 weeks. It is gorgeous, and it is massive. It really allows you to interpret this photo as it is. So some basics of the photo, some background. A lot of David Hockney's artwork comes out of a sense of his personal life, and he takes it into his artwork. So these are based off trees in Yorkshire, which is right near water, and in the UK where he grew up. And I think it's just a beautiful homage to his childhood, and it's sort of a coming of age. That's what I like to think of it as, because the leaves on the trees were about to be out. It's about prime time for them to come out. So it's just a beautiful work of art. The next work I'd like to highlight is the interior with Blue Terrace and Garden, as compared to bigger interior with Blue Terrace and Garden. I think this piece is iconic. It really embodies modern art as what it is. In the original, you can see the very classic pop of color, the vibrance, and the clean lines that David Hockney really embodied through his works of art throughout the years. Some differences between this piece and his next piece that will be shown in just a second. This piece is on just a normal canvas. It is done with acrylic, whereas his other is done on a hexagonal canvas of the same size, but manages to capture a more reverse perspective. That's a term he likes to coin for it. Whereas this one sort of lacks in that department. So as you can see, the bigger interior painting really does, it brings about more of a maturity to the last one, providing more detail in the background, more detail even in the foreground. The reds on this differ a little bit, making it just a little less vibrant, but more perfect in every single way. You see his very classic depiction of water in the bottom corner, as well as the many plants and life that are pictured. It's very beautiful. The last one takes more on a somber tone than the other paintings mentioned. The portrait of JP is a very specific portrait, which actually launched a slew of those portraits, 82 to be precise, in a series that he created from the first one that was in 2013. The reason he began doing these portraits, and the reason JP is depicted as so, is because of the very unfortunate loss of David Hockney's young assistant. That it wasn't something that they expected at all, and it caused Hockney to just go radio silent for a while there, and it really influenced his art going forward as well. When this unfortunate loss occurred, agony swept through David Hockney and the people that personally knew Elliot, which was the man who passed away. It is very clearly depicted in this photo, the agony and the emotion that was expressed there, with JP just having his hands in his, having his face in his hands. It's just very, you can just see the somber tone. And that yellowish hair went on to become an iconic emblem of what David Hockney's portraits would be portrayed as. It is a very beautiful work of art, just depicting a realness and sort of veering away from the very, very vibrant colors. While there are still a lot of vibrant colors in this piece, it's not like a very clean line, vibrant, pop art-ish, impressionistic art that David Hockney typically embodies. It definitely varies from that point of view, but shows realness and really allows the viewer to just embrace the sadness and the somber tone of this piece. And from then on, a lot of David Hockney's artwork maintained a sense of that realness mixed with impressionism and that vibrancy of color. It's really beautiful to see how such a sad time in his life influenced it in the later years. That is David Hockney, in my view on him.